On behalf of Touch Football Australia, welcome to the DoorDash National Youth Championships tournament briefing. Touch Football Australia acknowledges the Sunshine Coast country, home of the Gubbi Gubbi and Jinnaburra people, traditional custodians of the lands on which we meet this week, and pays respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. Please ensure you have your manager's pack and the conditions of entry next to you while we go through this presentation and refer to those documents throughout for further information. Touch Football Australia would like to recognise our major National Youth Championships event partners, the Sunshine Coast Council and DoorDash. We thank them for their ongoing support. Should you need assistance in the lead up to or during the event, the name of the relevant staff and officials are on your screen. Mobile phone numbers for the relevant individuals are in your manager's pack, so please do not hesitate to contact us should you need any help. Touch Football Australia will be communicating via the NYC specific team app, the TFA and NYC websites, our social media accounts, and in the event of an emergency, Stadium PA. Should we need to contact tour leaders directly, we will communicate with you via mobile phone if urgent. However, we will also provide daily newsletter updates on generic event information, which will be available on the NYC Team app. As we mentioned, Team app will play a large part in our communication. So we encourage everyone to download Team app, which is available from the App Store or Google Play. Simply search Team app. Once you have downloaded and registered for Team app, search for National Youth Championships. The app will include information on the NYC event and provide push notifications if needed to communicate en masse. It will also be a place for you to check results, ladders, and finals progressions. On the left of the screen, you can see our social media handles. This year, the results will be available online only. There will be no physical results board area. To view the results on Team app, go to National Youth Championships, then Fixtures and Results. Or go to the Touch Football website, www.touchfootball.com.au. Under the Competitions tab, go to National and then National Youth Championships and select the division you would like to view. We will now cover off on some risk management items, mainly medical, weather policies, some venue-specific information and various disciplinary protocols that are in play at the event. Touch Football Australia are following the current Queensland health restrictions in place at the time of the event to ensure the event is COVID safe. And although COVID restrictions have been reduced, to minimise disruptions to the tournament, we highly recommend that anyone attending the event does a rapid antigen test prior to travelling to the Sunshine Coast. It will be extremely important that anyone who is feeling unwell or has any COVID-19 symptoms or have been advised that they are a close contact and are required to isolate or is a current positive COVID case does not attend the event or enter the event venue. Sanitize your hands on entry and exit. Sanitizer will be available around the event precinct. Reduce your time at the venue and follow the get in, play, get out procedures, which a draw has been designed to enable this to reduce the intermingling of multiple divisions. Spectators are to be a minimum of 5 metres back from the playing field. Where possible, fields will be roped off. Please stay behind these ropes. Everyone except teams who are warming up or playing will need to practice social distancing and keep 1.5 metres apart at all times. Entities are required to provide their own medical staff at the event. A doctor and physio are available for serious injuries. Should you need a doctor or physio, please flag TFA event staff, identifiable by the fluoro yellow and navy event staff shirts, who will radio through for assistance to the relevant field or location. The Touch Football Australia event medical tent will be located at the eastern end of Field 2. Please make sure you sanitize your hands on entry and exit. Touch Football Australia concussion policy will be used at this event. The aim of these guidelines is to ensure that all players with a suspected concussion receive timely and appropriate advice and care to safely return them to activities and sport. The policy is located on the TFA website under the Policies tab at the bottom of the website. Unfortunately, we've experienced inclement weather at national events in the past. Therefore, if we do so again, either the hot weather policy or the wet weather policy contained within the TFA extreme weather guidelines will come into effect. These can be found on the TFA website under Policies. Please listen to the ground announcer and communications from tournament officials if they will be implemented during the event depending on weather. There are several risks associated with team tents and bringing in of various equipment into the facility. The manager's pack covers this in details, however we would like to go over a few. Power has been provided to entities' tents who have requested this. Please ensure that all electrical items have been tagged and tested prior to bringing them onto the venue. Ice bars are not permitted at the venue, or post-game recovery requiring water is to be done off-site in a socially distanced and COVID-safe manner. There will be a canteen, coffee, food and drink vendors in operation at the stadium. It is important that if you are preparing meals on site that you make sure you abide by food safe handling standards so that we can avoid any outbreaks of gastro or food poisoning that will impact the health and well-being of the participants and the running of the event. A reminder from the Sunshine Coast Stadium that no barbecue or cooking devices are permitted at the venue. Finally, should we need to evacuate the stadium for any reason, please listen to the stadium PA and abide by the instructions provided by the ground announcer or your nearest TFA event or Sunshine Coast Stadium staff member. There are 4 emergency assembly points. These are displayed on your screen. Please move to your nearest, safest assembly point. For those that have been to an NYC before at the Sunshine Coast Stadium, you will be aware that traffic and parking can be quite busy at times. Therefore, we do ask that you adhere to the signs and use caution at all times when driving or walking throughout the stadium precinct. Parking is available off Nicklin Way, indicated on the map in your screen in the black and white striped area. There are also 2 car parks on Sportsman's Parade in the purple and white striped areas indicated on your map on your screen. One of these is a 300-bay temporary car park to the south of the stadium on Lake Kawana, and a smaller gravel car park to the north of the stadium. In terms of traffic management, we do ask that all 12 to 18-seater buses park in the 300-bay temporary car park, as this will greatly improve traffic management in the Nicklin Way car park. There is a drop-off zone on Sportsman's Parade at the south side of the stadium, indicated in your map in the blue and white stripes. We also ask that you respect the disabled parking bays, which is located on the southern side of the stadium on Sportsman's Parade and the first few bays in the car park located off Nicklin Way. Please avoid parking in disabled bays, as we have had issues in the past where able-bodied drivers are taking up valuable parking spaces, so we do ask for your cooperation there. Event participants and spectators have been advised to not park in the surrounding business car parks. There is an overflow parking available at Kawana Sport Precinct and the Western Fields off Main Drive, which is a 1.5 walk from the stadium. There will be no vehicle access into the tent or field areas, so if you are looking to drop off or pick up equipment from your tents, unfortunately we cannot grant your vehicle access to these areas. The venue is a totally non-smoking venue, so we ask that everyone refrains from smoking anywhere throughout the Sunshine Coast Stadium area. It is also a dry zone for the duration of the event due to it being an under-18s youth tournament. There will be overnight security for the main event precinct, But as always, we recommend that no valuable items are left behind because the security guard can't be everywhere at the one time. Just as a general reminder too, that no spectators are to be within 5 metres of the field of play. So if you are watching your teams, please ensure that your players, spectators and officials are back 5 metres from the field. There will be a number of ropes or markings around the outer fields to designate this 5 metre barrier. This is there for the safety of the players, spectators and officials as well. A reminder that while you are spectating and not playing, that you are required to be socially distanced from other event attendees. In terms of training fields, prior to the event, we ask that you book these through the Sunshine Coast Council and are not to be performed at the Sunshine Coast Stadium venue due to a previous event bump down and our event bumping in. In terms of warming up, we ask that you avoid warming up and cooling down on the actual playing surface. There is plenty of space surrounding the fields. We ask you for your cooperation to protect the playing surface for our event, but also for the many other users that frequent the stadium ongoing. In addition to Touch Football Australia staff, Sunshine Coast Stadium staff will be able to help entities with booking training fields and ice prior to the event and access to drinking water and other general facility inquiries. Please flag a TFA event staff and we will put you in contact with a Sunshine Coast Stadium staff member. There are no ATM facilities at the Sunshine Coast Stadium, however, in the manager's pack, alternative options have been provided. In terms of the disciplinary protocol, the key information is in your manager's pack. The main point we want to raise on this slide is that for you to be aware that the team can be penalised for the behaviour of officials and spectators. We would hate to see a vital game decided by the behaviour of someone off the field, so please make sure that you advise all spectators and officials that their behaviour off the field can have an impact on the on-field result. For the next section, please make sure you refer to the conditions of entry as we go over these key points given their significance. NRL Films and Photos are the official photography partners of Touch Football Australia and will be the official event photographers for this year's DoorDash National Youth Championships. Action shots will be available to purchase from Touch Football Australia's Photo Shelter, our online photo shop. In regards to uniforms, we do understand that from time to time there can be issues with suppliers or players lose gear. However, we do ask that you have a contingency plan in place to ensure that at all times your players and officials are in full correct uniform. This is a national event and Touch Football Australia is striving for a professional image and it is now a KO broadcast event, so we have an obligation together to ensure that our brand is protected and is portrayed in the best possible light it can be. Therefore, we won't be accepting players or officials that are not in uniform, and this goes from an incorrect hat to a different style of shirt. We expect that all teams are in exactly the same uniform, and we do ask for your cooperation with this during the tournament. Players should be in the same playing shirt number for the entire event. This is important to make sure that the shirt number on the scorecard is correct every game. In the event that a player does lose a shirt or a shirt is damaged, we do ask that you change the number of the player's shirt at the tournament operations area as soon as possible post-game. It is required due to a number of factors, including the broadcast commentators, and if it is a selection event for a higher representation, so we want to be able to contact the correct individual if they have been selected for these honours. Also, in the event of a disciplinary issue, we want to be able to contact the correct player identified for these matters. In terms of proof of eligibility challenges, protests or eligibility claims, these can be made on days 1 and 2 of the event. We will not accept a protest or eligibility claim after the completion of play on day 2. If you notice anyone who you think might not be eligible, please address this as soon as possible. It is the responsibility of each team to allocate an appropriate person to sign the score sheet at the end of each game. The appropriate person can be seen as the coach or the team manager. In signing the score sheet, the nominated person on behalf of their team has acknowledged and accepts information on the score sheet to be correct. This information includes full-time and half-time scores, playing shirt numbers of players, crossing off players not participating in that game, try scorers for both teams, and sin bin or dismissal sanctions. Touch Football Australia encourages all referees, team players and officials to communicate throughout the game to make sure all parties have a responsibility in ensuring the score sheet is correct. If you do not agree with the information on the score sheet, do not sign the score sheet and lodge a protest via your tour leader within 50 minutes of the conclusion of the game. The following information is to be provided with the protest: the team that tapped off at the direction of play, the order the scoring occurred, including player numbers for both teams, the half-time and full-time scores. The opposing team will be called to verify the score. If they do not agree or in the event of inconclusive evidence, the score will be recorded as the scores the referees have recorded. Teams can register up to 16 players. However, only 14 can participate in any match. Please ensure that prior to the start of each game, you cross out any individuals that are not participating in that particular match. Penalties may apply for teams who play with more than 14 players. A maximum of 20 participants may be present on the playing surface, including the interchange area and permitted coaching positions in each game. For example, 6 players on the field, up to 8 players in the interchange area, 2 non-players, and therefore in this instance only 4 officials would be able to be involved. If there is more than 20, event staff will ask you to rectify. All of these participants must be in enclosed footwear, including injured players. They must all either be in the official on-field playing uniform, if they are a player in the said game, or the off-field entity uniform, if they are a player that is not playing in the game, or an official such as a coach, manager, or medical staff. Interchanges are to occur within the 20 by 4 metre interchange area, which is situated 1 metre back from the side of the playing field, displayed on the right of the screen. Interchanging players must not leave this area until the player leaving the field has crossed the boundary and into the interchange area. Coaches are permitted to position themselves at the end of the field 5 metres back from the dead ball line. However, they cannot issue any verbal or physical commands directly to the team. They are observing only and can only communicate to the team or other staff in the interchange area by returning to the interchange area or by use of electronic communication. Failure to comply will result in the individuals being asked to leave the venue for the duration of the game and may result in further action. Event staff will ask you to rectify any of these situations immediately. We do ask that you show event staff respect and listen to their instructions. They will ask you to rectify as they notice any issues, whether it be day 1 or with 5 minutes to go in the grand final. If you do not wish to be disturbed by event staff, please do the right thing from day 1 throughout to your last game. The drop-off rule will be as per the 8th edition playing rules. If it is a draw at the end of regulation time and a drop-off is required, teams will reduce to 4 players. There will be a tap at halfway by the team that did not commence the match in possession, and teams will run in the same direction that they ended the game. There will be a 2-minute period of time played. If a team is in the lead at the expiration of 2 minutes, the team is declared the winner and the match is complete. If there is no result after 2 minutes, the match is paused at the next touch or dead ball. Teams are to reduce to 3 players. The match will recommence at the same place it was paused and until a try is scored. For further details, please refer to the 8th edition of the playing rules on the Touch Football Australia website. We will now cover off on the finals information relevant to each competition and their presentations. For teams that are lucky enough to make the 18s Division Grand Finals, the following provides you with some information on the presentation elements. We ask that all players and officials meet on the AstroTurf next to Field 1, as per the picture on the screen, 10 minutes prior to your match, ready for your players to be introduced onto the stadium in number order with your captains first, and so that the coin toss can be done prior to the match. Players will line up facing the grandstand for the national anthem, and then the match will commence. A rundown on all the presentation timings and locations are displayed on the screen in front of you. A reminder that the NYC Team MVP forms will be due by 9 AM Saturday to the downstairs tournament operations area. This year, only the winning teams, referees, and the myskills.gov.au player of the final for each grand final are required to attend the presentation ceremony. Tool leaders, please bring the displayed documentation to your individual tool leader meeting appointment on Tuesday. Tool leaders have been given access to My Sideline and are encouraged to regularly check teams for an update on registered players and officials. We ask that you follow up those still to complete the online registration process no later than Monday prior to the event. Should players or officials still not be registered by Monday, they will need to attend the tool leader meeting with you so that they can complete this process. That is it in terms of the online tournament briefing. If you have any questions, your first point of call should be your tool leader. Or if you are the tool leader, then by all means, please contact Zoe Wild at Touch Football Australia, who will be able to assist you and help you with your inquiry. We look forward to seeing you on the Sunshine Coast.